What's the best time of the day and the best time of the week to trade Forex, and why? Hey guys, Jeff here with the Forex Journey. Welcome to our channel. I'm just gonna hop right into it. So basically there's three big sessions for trading Forex. There's the London session, the New York session, and the Tokyo session. So the Tokyo session is sometimes called the Asian session, and the London session is sometimes called the European session. But so I'm going to give you these times that they're at in EST time, but you can Google something like Forex market hours with your time zone, and it would tell you exactly what time they're open based on your time zone. But so in EST time, the London session is from 3 in the morning, 3 a.m. until 12 p.m., right, until noon. And the New York session is from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So there's an overlap there for several hours. And the Tokyo session is in the evening, well, over here, and it's from 7 p.m. to 4 a.m. Eastern time. So which one of those sessions has the most volume? So Asian session or Tokyo session, of course, it has good volume, but London and New York have much more volume. And most of the trading, like a lot of the big moves happen during that time. But so, and especially the time where the London session and the New York session overlap. So essentially there's about 4 hours where, you know, the London session is moving towards its close, but the New York session is just opening up. And those are very, there's a lot of volume or a lot of volatility, good volatility during those hours. There's a lot of trades happening and a lot of movement during those times. So of course, what I'm about to talk about is really more for day traders, like people who trade for breakouts and like trends and just like granular movement on the chart, where people who trade more like bigger trades on the higher time frame, like 4 hour daily or maybe the weekly even, like the short-term movement or like what session it's in probably doesn't matter as much, because depending on the style, of course, of trading, typically they would just kind of set certain parameters, and once that gets hit, then they enter the trade, and then it could be, you know, whatever, you know what I'm saying. So of course the pair that you're trading makes a difference in what kind of session you should choose. Like if you're trading GBP USD but you trade during the Asian session, of course it's not going to have as much volume as if you would be trading it during the London session or the New York session, and you know, things of that nature. But what time of the day are you the most productive? You know, so for me, it's mornings. Like at night, I'm like a zombie, but during the day, like early morning, that's my best time for me to trade. So I love to trade the overlap of the London and the New York session. But depending on where you're at in the world, that might be 3 in the morning or, you know, midnight for you, you know, so maybe that's not possible. So you have to keep that in consideration as well. I mean, even if you find like the perfect time is 4 o'clock your time in the morning, that might not be feasible. So when are you most productive, and what time of the day can you make time? And so if you can't make any time in the morning and you can't make any time in the evening, like you need to find a time where you can trade, but within that time, it has to be like, it would be better if it's a time where there's a lot of volume in the market. So essentially, the two times where there's the most volume in the market is the London and New York session overlap, and worst case scenario, there's the evening session or the Asian session, kind of as a backup. No offense to anyone who likes the Asian session, but so depending on where you're at in the world, that makes a big difference on what time you should be sitting down at the computer. And so just going back to what I said earlier about how the best days is Tuesday to Thursday, you can certainly still trade on Monday or Friday. So it's just that Mondays and Fridays typically have less volume, but sometimes they move really well. But sometimes, of all the days, those are the 2 days that usually there's more weird stuff happening. So on a Monday or a Friday, it's more likely that it's moving in a nice direction and then something crazy happens, like in my experience. So that happens less on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But again, you can still trade on Mondays and Fridays. Just be mindful that there might be some craziness afoot. So the last thing that I'm going to say is that if you're still trying to figure out what's the best time for you to trade based on your lifestyle and your trading style and all that, I would suggest that you could, you can paper trade for free on the charts, or you could buy a simulator like Soft4FX. I have a link in my description. And what a Forex simulator would allow you to do is to trade in real time, but at any time of your choosing, a demo account, okay, like not real money, but like let's say you're not sure during the week when you should be trading, you could take time on your time off or on your weekend to look through the charts and do some practice trades and see, after a couple hundred trades, okay, maybe this strategy is actually better in the evenings, or it's actually better in the afternoons or the mornings or the whatever, and maybe it is better on a certain session. But that way you can test out your strategy risk-free. You can really gauge on your own time when would be the best time. I hope that makes sense. So since I was actually talking about Soft4FX, I'm gonna link a video here on how it works and where you can get it and all that kind of stuff, like what it does. And I actually have a whole series about me showing trades on using it, so it won't be like alien to you, and it's very affordable. But anyway, so thanks so much for watching, guys. It's a pleasure making these videos for you. Drop us in the comments, what time do you like to trade and why? What pairs do you trade? And yeah, we'll see you in the next video.